When peace shows up, the relationship is over, not when chaos ends, when engagement ends, not when drama stops, when investment stops, not when conflict disappears. When caring disappears, you worked for peace, achieved peace, got peace, and peace killed everything. This isn't what you expected, isn't what you were promised, isn't how it's supposed to work. You were told reduce conflict and relationship improves. Eliminate drama and connection strengthens. Create peace and partnership thrives. But you reduced conflict and relationship died. Eliminated drama and connection ended. Created peace and partnership terminated. You did everything right and lost everything that mattered. Followed every rule and broke everything that worked. Achieved every goal and destroyed what you were trying to build. And here's why, here's the mechanism. Here's what nobody tells you about peace. Peace means predictable, means stable, means certain, means safe, means comfortable, means easy, and predictable kills attention. Stable eliminates investment, certain destroys engagement, safe removes tension, comfortable ends charge. Easy eliminates energy. Attention, investment, engagement, tension, charge, energy. These are what keep relationships alive. These are what maintain connection. These are what sustain partnership. When these die, relationship dies. When these end, connection ends. When these disappear, partnership disappears. Peace kills these. Stability eliminates these. Certainty destroys these. Safety removes these. Comfort ends these. Easy eliminates these. You worked toward peace and worked toward death. Strived for stability and strived for ending. Aimed for certainty and aimed for termination. Not because goals were wrong, because goals were deadly. Not because you failed, because you succeeded at killing relationship. Not because you did wrong, because you did right thing that destroys connection. Here's how it happened. Here's the progression. Here's the timeline. You had conflict, had drama, had chaos, had unpredictability, had tension, had difficulty. And conflict was painful. Drama was exhausting. Chaos was stressful. Unpredictability was anxiety-inducing. Tension was uncomfortable. Difficulty was hard. So you worked to eliminate these, strived to remove these, aimed to end these. You learned to communicate better, developed emotional regulation, established boundaries, created routines, built stability, achieved predictability. Every improvement reduced conflict. Every development decreased drama. Every achievement eliminated chaos. Conflict became discussion. Drama became calm conversation. Chaos became organized routine. And discussions are peaceful. Calm conversations are stable. Organized routines are predictable. You achieved peace, reached stability, created predictability. This is when you noticed something changing, something shifting, something different. She became distant, less engaged, more separate, less interested, more independent, less connected. And you couldn't understand why, couldn't comprehend how, couldn't make sense of what happened, because you did everything right, improved everything that was wrong, fixed everything that was broken. You became better communicator, more emotionally regulated, more boundaried, more stable, more predictable, more peaceful, better in every measurable way, improved in every identifiable dimension, enhanced in every observable metric. An enhancement should strengthen relationship. Improvement should deepen connection. Better should increase partnership. But enhancement weakened relationship. Improvement shallowed connection. Better decreased partnership. Because better meant peaceful, improved meant stable, enhanced meant predictable. And peaceful, stable, predictable. These killed what was keeping her engaged, eliminated what was maintaining her investment, destroyed what was sustaining her attention. Here's the brutal truth, the part that will make you angry, the reality that feels like injustice. She wasn't attracted to your peace. She was attracted to your chaos. Wasn't engaged by your stability. Was engaged by your unpredictability. Wasn't invested in your certainty. Was invested in your tension. Not because she wanted you to be chaotic, because chaos created engagement. Not because she desired unpredictability, because unpredictability generated investment, not because she needed tension. Because tension produced attention. When you eliminated chaos, you eliminated her engagement. When you removed unpredictability, you removed her investment. When you destroyed tension, you destroyed her attention. And no engagement, no investment, no attention, these are no relationship, no connection, no partnership. This is the injustice. This is what feels wrong. This is what violates expectation. You improved yourself and lost her, became better person and ended relationship, achieved personal growth and destroyed partnership. How is this fair? How is this right? How is this just? It's not fair. It's mechanical, not right. It's systematic, not just. It's biological. Attraction doesn't operate on fairness. Connection doesn't follow justice. Partnership doesn't obey what's right. These operate on stimuli and response, on trigger and reaction, on cause and effect. You removed stimuli. Response died, eliminated trigger. Reaction ended, destroyed cause. Effect disappeared. Mechanical causation, systematic process. Biological mechanism, no fairness involved, no justice considered, no rightness calculated. Just stimulus and response, trigger and reaction, cause and effect. You became peaceful. Peaceful doesn't stimulate. You became stable. Stable doesn't trigger. You became predictable. Predictable doesn't cause. No stimulation, no trigger, no cause equals no response, no reaction, no effect. No response, no reaction, no effect equals no attraction, no engagement, no investment, no attraction, no engagement, no investment equals no relationship, no connection, no partnership. This is why peace killed relationship, why stability ended connection, why predictability terminated partnership. And here's what makes this especially painful. What creates the deepest frustration? What generates the most confusion? You were doing exactly what you were told to do, following exactly what advice said, implementing exactly what experts recommended. Work on yourself, improve communication, regulate emotions, establish boundaries, create stability, build peace. Every piece of advice followed, every recommendation implemented, every expert suggestion executed, and following advice killed relationship. Implementing recommendations ended connection. Executing suggestions terminated partnership. How can following good advice lead to bad outcome? How can doing right thing produce wrong result? How can correct behavior generate incorrect consequence? Because advice was incomplete, because recommendations were partial, because suggestions were one-dimensional. Advice addressed your functioning, not her attraction. Recommendations targeted your stability, not her engagement. Suggestions focused on your peace, not her investment. In your functioning, your stability, your peace, these made you a better person. These improved your life. These enhanced your well-being. But better person doesn't automatically mean more attractive partner. Improved life doesn't guarantee maintained relationship. Enhanced well-being doesn't secure continued connection. Sometimes opposite. Sometimes better person means less attractive partner. Sometimes improved life means ended relationship. Sometimes enhanced well-being means terminated connection. When better means peaceful. When improved means stable. When enhanced means predictable. And peaceful doesn't attract. Stable doesn't engage. Predictable doesn't invest. This is the gap. This is the disconnect. This is the collapse between behavior correctness and emotional impact. Behavior was correct. You are doing right things, making right choices, implementing right changes, correct for functioning, right for stability, proper for peace. But emotional impact was opposite of intended. Attraction decreased instead of increased. Engagement reduced instead of enhanced. Investment withdrew instead of deepened. Because correct behavior removed stimuli she needed. Right choices eliminated triggers she required. Proper changes destroyed causes she responded to. Stimuli removal killed response. Trigger elimination ended reaction. Cause destruction disappeared effect. And you were left confused, frustrated, angry, feeling injustice, experiencing unfairness, sensing wrongness, because you did everything right, worked so hard, tried so much, improved so significantly, changed so extensively, grew so substantially, and everything right led to everything wrong. All that work led to relationship ending. All that trying led to connection terminating. All that improvement led to partnership dissolving. This seems cruel, seems unfair, seems unjust, but cruelty requires intention. Unfairness requires agency. Injustice requires moral framework. Biology has no intention. Mechanism has no agency. Systems have no moral framework, just stimuli and response, triggers and reactions, causes and effects. You removed stimuli, response ended, eliminated triggers, reactions stopped, destroyed causes, effects disappeared. Not cruel, mechanical, not unfair, systematic, not unjust, biological. And here's what you need to understand to prevent carrying wrong lesson forward, to avoid concluding wrong message, to stop learning incorrect teaching. Your improvement wasn't mistake. Your growth wasn't error. Your changes weren't failures. These were successes for your life, victories for your functioning, achievements for your well-being. But success for your life isn't automatically success for relationship. Victory for your functioning isn't guaranteed victory for connection. Achievement for your well-being isn't assured achievement for partnership. Different domains, different metrics, different objectives. You optimized for peace. You got peace and lost relationship. Maximized stability, got stability and lost connection. Prioritized predictability, got predictability and lost partnership. Trade-off, exchange, cost-benefit. And trade-off might be correct. Exchange might be right. Cost-benefit might be favorable. Better to have peace without relationship than chaos with relationship. Better to have stability without connection than unpredictability with connection. Better to have predictability without partnership than tension with partnership. This is personal choice, individual decision, subjective preference. No universal right answer, no objective correct choice, no absolute proper decision. Some people choose peace over relationship. Some choose relationship over peace. Some try to maintain both and achieve neither. But understanding trade-off exists, recognizing exchange is real, knowing cost-benefit is actual. This prevents confused outcome. This prevents shocked result. This prevents bewildered consequence. When you work toward peace, you work away from certain types of relationship. When you strive for stability, you strive away from certain types of connection. When you aim for predictability, you aim away from certain types of partnership. Types that require stimulation, types that need triggers, types that demand causes. And some relationships are these types. Some connections need these elements. Some partnerships require these components. When relationship is this type, working toward peace works toward ending. Striving for stability strives for termination. Aiming for predictability aims for dissolution. This doesn't mean all relationships end with peace. It means relationships built on stimulation end when stimulation dies. Connections maintained by triggers end when triggers disappear. Partnerships sustained by causes end when causes are destroyed. If relationship was built on chaos, it dies when chaos ends. If connection was maintained by unpredictability, it terminates when predictability establishes. If partnership was sustained by tension, it dissolves when peace arrives. Foundation determines survival conditions. Basis establishes continuation requirements. Origin defines persistence necessities. Your relationship was built on stimulation. Your connection was maintained by triggers. Your partnership was sustained by causes. And you eliminated stimulation, removed triggers, destroyed causes. Foundation crumbled, basis dissolved, origin disappeared. And structure built on foundation collapses when foundation crumbles. Connection based on basis ends when basis dissolves. Partnership originated from origin terminates when origin disappears. This is what happened. This is the mechanism. This is the process. When peace showed up, relationship ended. When stability established, connection terminated. When predictability arrived, partnership dissolved. Not because peace is bad, because relationship required opposite of peace. Not because stability is wrong, because connection needed opposite of stability, not because predictability is failure. Because partnership demanded opposite of predictability. Different relationships have different requirements. Different connections need different conditions. Different partnerships demand different elements. Yours required stimulation, not peace, needed triggers, not stability, demanded causes, not predictability. And you provided peace, established stability, created predictability. Provision mismatch, establishment contradiction, creation opposition, and mismatch kills relationship. Contradiction ends connection. Opposition terminates partnership. When peace shows up in relationship that requires opposite of peace, relationship is over. When stability establishes in connection that needs opposite of stability, connection is finished. When predictability arrives in partnership that demands opposite of predictability, partnership is done. This is reality. This is mechanism. This is system. Understanding this prevents wrong conclusion, prevents incorrect lesson, prevents mistaken teaching. Peace wasn't the mistake. Pursuing peace in relationship that required opposite of peace was the mismatch. Stability wasn't the error. Establishing stability in connection that needed opposite of stability was the contradiction. Predictability wasn't the failure. Creating predictability in partnership that demanded opposite of predictability was the opposition. Different relationship types, different connection requirements, different partnership needs. Know which type you have. Recognize what requirements exist. Understand what needs are present. Then decide if you want to provide what's required. Choose if you can supply what's needed. Determine if you will give what's demanded. If yes, provide it. If no, accept ending. Both choices are valid. Both decisions are acceptable. Both determinations are reasonable, but don't provide opposite of what's required and expect relationship to survive. Don't supply opposite of what's needed and assume connection continues. Don't give opposite of what's demanded and presume partnership persists. When peace shows up in relationship that requires opposite of peace, relationship is over. When stability establishes in connection that needs opposite of stability, connection is finished. When predictability arrives in partnership that demands opposite of predictability, partnership is done. This is mechanism. This is system. This is reality. Tomorrow we'll look at the final truth. She didn't abandon you. She finished understanding you. And that understanding was the end of everything.